Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan were officially declared lost at sea. No bodies were recovered. No wreckage was found. No final answers were ever given. One moment, their plane was somewhere over the Pacific Ocean. The next, they were simply gone. To this day, no one knows if they crashed into the ocean, survived on a remote island, or lived their final days as prisoners in a foreign land. This is not just a story about a missing airplane. It is the story of the most famous disappearance in aviation history, and the mystery that refuses to die. In the early hours of the 2nd of July 1937, the vast Pacific Ocean lay calm and endless beneath the wings of a small silver airplane. Inside that plane were two people, alone in the sky, thousands of miles from help. One was Amelia Earhart, a world-famous pilot who had already broken records and changed history. The other was Fred Noonan, a skilled navigator whose job was to guide them across the most dangerous ocean on Earth. They were brave. They were determined. And on this day, both of them would disappear without a trace. What happened to Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of the 20th century. A mystery that has sparked decades of searches, arguments, and unanswered questions. This is their story. Amelia Earhart was born in 1897, at a time when women were expected to stay quiet, stay home, and stay small. But Amelia was none of those things. She climbed trees, played rough games, and ignored the rules that tried to hold her back. While other girls were told what they couldn't do, Amelia asked one simple question: why not? Her life changed forever in 1920 when she took her first airplane ride. The moment the plane lifted off the ground, Amelia knew something deep inside her. She belonged in the sky. Flying became her obsession. She worked odd jobs, saved every penny, and trained relentlessly. In 1932, she shocked the world by becoming the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean. Overnight, she became a global icon. But Amelia was never satisfied with fame alone. She wanted more. She wanted to do something no one had ever done before. By 1937, Amelia had a bold new goal. She wanted to fly around the entire world, close to the equator, the longest possible route. No woman had ever done it. Few men had even tried. It was dangerous. It was risky. And it would push both human endurance and aviation technology to the limit. But Amelia believed in preparation. She believed in courage. And she believed that fear was something meant to be challenged. Her plane was a modified Lockheed Electra, packed with fuel tanks, navigation tools, and survival equipment. Flying with her was navigator Fred Noonan, an experienced sailor and air navigator who specialized in ocean crossings. Together, they began their journey, a journey across the world. For weeks, Amelia and Fred flew across continents and oceans. They crossed South America. They flew over Africa. They reached Southeast Asia. Each successful landing brought cheers, newspaper headlines, and growing excitement. But it also brought exhaustion. By the time they reached Lae, New Guinea, they had already traveled over 22,000 miles. Only one major stretch remained, the most dangerous part. A long flight over the Pacific Ocean to a tiny speck of land called Howland Island. An island so small it could easily disappear into the sea. On the 2nd of July, 1937, Amelia and Fred took off from Lae. They carried enough fuel for about 20 hours of flight. Their destination, Howland Island, was only 2 miles long. Missing it meant one thing: they would be lost over open ocean. To help guide them, a U.S. Coast Guard ship called the USS Itasca waited near the island. The plan was simple. Radio communication would guide Amelia safely in. But from the very start, something went wrong. The radio messages. As the hours passed, Amelia began sending radio messages. Her voice sounded calm but worried. She said she was low on fuel. She said she could not see the island. She said something terrifying: "We are running north and south." That meant she was flying blindly, hoping to stumble upon land. The Itasca could hear her, but Amelia could not hear them. Radio signals were failing. Time was running out. Then came her final message. Short, chilling, unfinished. And then, silence. Gone without a trace. The world waited. Hours passed. Then days. Then weeks. No plane landed. No wreckage appeared. No bodies were found. The U.S. government launched the largest search operation of its time. Ships and planes scoured thousands of miles of ocean. Nothing. After weeks of searching, the operation was called off. Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan were officially declared lost at sea. But the mystery was only beginning. Theory 1. The ocean crash. The most accepted theory is also the simplest. Amelia ran out of fuel. Her plane crashed into the Pacific Ocean. The wreck sank into deep water, never to be found. This theory makes sense. The ocean is vast. The plane was small. Technology at the time was limited. But if this is true, why has no wreckage ever been recovered? Theory 2. The island survivor. Another theory suggests Amelia didn't crash immediately. Instead, she may have landed on a remote island called Nikumaroro. Some believe she survived for days or even weeks as a castaway. Over the years, strange clues have surfaced. Old radio distress signals. A shoe sole, matching Amelia's size. Bones found decades later, though results remain disputed. Was Amelia alive after the crash? Was she calling for help that never came? Theory 3. Captured. One of the most controversial theories claims Amelia was captured by foreign forces. Some believe she landed in the Marshall Islands and was taken prisoner, accused of spying. There are old photos, witness stories, and rumors, but no solid proof. Most historians reject this theory. But the questions remain. Why the mystery lives on? Amelia Earhart wasn't just a pilot. She was a symbol, a woman who proved that courage has no gender, that limits are meant to be broken, that the sky belongs to anyone brave enough to chase it. Her disappearance froze her story in time. No ending, no closure, just questions. And maybe that's why we still talk about her. Because some mysteries refuse to stay silent. A legacy that never died. Today, Amelia Earhart's name still inspires pilots, dreamers, and explorers. Her plane vanished, but her courage didn't. Somewhere, beneath the waves, or on a forgotten shore, the truth still waits. And until it's found, Amelia Earhart remains the woman who flew into history and never came back.